I met with several students today that told me, okay, I've caught up. I've read all this. Now, what do I do? Well, to each of those students, I said, well, you're in the game now. I've activated your account. You filled out the form. I activated your account. This is what you're supposed to do. And each and every one of them, just like earlier in the year, looked at this and clicked this link. What that tells me is you're not reading words. You're just looking for links. Now, you may dispute that, but look, once your account is activated, click the pod link in the nav bar. Now, there's a reason I didn't make this an active link. I wanted you to become familiar with the nav bar. Sorry. So that's the whole purpose of this, and then work through the first quests. Now, you don't click this right away. You come up to the nav bar, and this is what, the third time I've explained this in videos, and students claim they're watching these. Now, on this page, on the pod page, the first quests are open by default. I did that on purpose so that you could see I want you to complete these 7 quests. But since you got a late start in here, what I want you to do, and this was also instructed in prior videos, and I want you to complete these first 3 quests, and when you edit your profile, skip the gravatar if it's not working out for you. If you just don't get it right off the bat, skip it, and you'll get it later. After these first 3 quests, then you come down to the digital portfolio entries and you work on your weekly documentation. And that, by the way, is the link that works back on that 411, that link in that second part that I said students were clicking on. But if you go straight to this quest, it makes no sense because you don't have a digital portfolio site. So you see, I make mistakes every single day, but this isn't one of them. This idea that you get introduced to this, hey, you get your sick leave, okay? So you can take care of restroom passes and absences. And then you set up your digital portfolio, and then you edit your profile so that you are called by name and not your ID number. And there's more to it than that. Follow the instructions. The same students who aren't reading the words aren't completing their profile. And this tells me that you're not giving it your all. Please take it slow and steady. Just dot your I's, cross your T's, pay attention to all the details, and get this done. Now, other students who have jumped ahead to the Illustrator tutorials are burning through these. But there are problems there as well because I told you, students who just rush through everything and not pay attention. Now, I'm not saying every single student who is keeping up with all these has done that. But there are some. And I told you, your willingness to spend the time to do this right will become apparent in your workflow. And that is displayed prominently as I walk around the room and see you working. I can't stress this enough. Take your time. Do this right. And this especially goes to my veterans. Hey, veterans, you're buying honor. Are you even reading the fine print? I told you the MacLab does not work like it worked last year. Honor works differently. Why don't you look at the conversion rate when you sell your honor back for gold and figure out what it is you may be doing wrong. So it's not just the newbies. It's the veterans too, and it always is. So here we are on day 9 of a new school year. This is early. it's plenty of time for everyone to sit back and say, I'm going to do this right. And I may have to go back and check some things out. All right, speaking of checking some things out and going back, I made some mistakes. And now this Thursday part 1, the video you're watching now is Thursday part 1. I'm going to switch this out for Thursday part 2. The only reason to watch this part 2 is if you're heading into those Illustrator tutorials. You need to go back here. I'm going to point to this at the beginning of those Illustrator tutorials on the pod page. So if you're there, watch the video. I cover a whole bunch of mistakes that I made. All right, you guys, have a great day. Please take your time.